Welcome to my channel, Ayash in Germany. Today we're going to speak about how to start a side business in Germany. So first of all, you need to make sure that you are allowed to start a side business in Germany. If you are a non-EU, for example, and you have a residence permit. So first of all, you need to check your residence permit. Will this residence permit allow you to work in Germany or not as a side business, or to start a side business in Germany? So first of all, usually you have your residence permit, and usually it could come with it could allow you to work as a freelancer. For example, they call it hier selbstständig oder freiwilliger, or it could be written like you have to work as Beschäftigung. Beschäftigung means that you are working as employed to a certain company, or Erwerbtätigkeit, which allow actually both working for company and are working also as a freelancer. So it's very important to ask the Ausländerbehörde office or the foreigner office, foreigner authority office responsible for your case, and ask them, am I allowed to open a business or not? This is very important to make sure that you don't break any rule. This is number one. And then number two, for example, you would like to work online, sell something on Amazon, have a YouTube channel and earn from it, sell something on eBay, whatever business, a small business, you have to register for something called Gewerbe. What is Gewerbe? It's like a name here in Germany for small businesses or whatever. So you go for the Rathaus and you ask for registration. You pay, it depends from one city to another. It could cost like 20 euros, it could cost up till 50 euros. It depends from one city to another. And then you have to get the application. You have to fill the application. You write your name, you write your address, you write the name of the Gewerbe, the address of the Gewerbe if you are doing your business from your home, so it will be the same address. And then of course you have to write the activity, what are you doing, selling something, whatever are you doing, what is the activity of the business. And then something very important, you have to take on something if you would like to do this business as a side business. It's called Nebenerwerb. It is very important to take this to sign that you would like to, if you're, for example, working as full-time for a company and you would like to keep this as a side business. So it's very important, because if you didn't choose to have it as a side business, then all health insurance and whole Renteversicherung, or we mean the social pension insurance, you have to pay by your own. You don't want to do that. You like to keep your main work as it is. Everything is taken from there, and here's only a side job where you have to only pay for the extra tax. So this is really important. Unless you would like to start from the beginning and it's your main job, this is something completely different. And then actually after doing all that, you have to understand also to work as a neighboring job or as a side job, there are certain requirements. It shouldn't exceed, your income shouldn't exceed the main job. And also it's limited by certain number of hours per week. And you have to check that, of course, because it's changed from time to time, to make sure you don't exceed the limits for a side job. Or here we're not speaking about normal side job, we're speaking about side business. After that, when you register, they'll send it to you by post or handed directly, like the application, like the certificate that you already have a Gewerbe, and they give you another paper with the regulations, everything. So you have to read this carefully, and you have to, it's of course written in German, so you have to understand really good German to understand what's written inside. If you don't, you have to get the help from someone who can read German very well to understand what is the regulations of everything. The next step you have to do is you have to register the business for the tax office. It's called here the Finanzamt. So the way is to do it, to go to the tax office, or you can go for a website called Elster. Elster. This is the website of the Finanzamt here in Germany, where you can open an account and have a password and everything. And after you did all of that, you can look for a formula or a document you have to fill for the Gewerbe. Usually when you register, they give you this regulation and they tell you have to go and fill this formula. So you find this formula and you have to fill it. Actually, it's all in German, of course. So again, you have to understand very good German if you would like to do it by your own. If not, you have to get the help of someone who can understand, a friend who can read German, or maybe a Steuerberater, a tax accountant, a lawyer to help you in this. But you can do it your own. I did it my own. It depends if you can read German or not, or you can get help with someone who can read and understand German. It's very important because when you fill this document, you have to pick, if you would like to pick, it is an option, you can pick something called Kleiner Unternehmer or Kleiner Gewerbe, which means a small business. It also has some regulation. It will It's very helpful actually, because they would like to support people who would like to have a small Gewerbe, kleiner Gewerbe, not Gewerbe, or kleiner Unternehmer, or small business. So this is the option you have to choose to consider your business as kleiner Unternehmer, or the small business, which means you should have a cap of income. So you shouldn't exceed certain income per year to be considered as a kleiner Unternehmer. And usually for all people who start as the beginners, you don't have a lot of income, so you start like that. And once you exceed, of course, you are no longer a kleiner Unternehmer, and you have to pay more taxes, of course. So it's different. So you have to check also the regulation for kleiner Unternehmer and see if you fulfill it or not, and then you pick. And when you pick and you submit this online, after a while they send you by post, for example, okay, now you are open a Gewerbe, you have this tax number for this business, and we consider you as a kleiner Unternehmer, as I said, like small business. And then, of course, you have to start to do the Erklärung, or the Steuererklärung, which means the tax returns. For a small business, or not for Gewerbe, either it is small or not, whatever. For the Gewerbe, you have three types of tax returns. You have the Einkommenerklärung, you have the Gewerbeerklärung, you have the Umsatzerklärung. So if you are a kleiner Unternehmer, you have to check also for those three. For the Einkommenerklärung, if this is a side business, then you don't need to do it unless you exceed certain income per year. So you have to check also for the rule, because it changed. If you exceed certain income per year, that you have to do the Einkommenerklärung. If not, you don't. The same for Gewerbeerklärung. If you exceed certain income per year or whatever, you have to do it. If not, you don't. So you have to check. But in all cases, even if you are big Gewerbe, small Gewerbe, you have to always do the Umsatzsteuererklärung, even whatever your income is. You do it. Of course, you will not take money from you if you didn't earn a lot, but you still have to do it. All this you have to check, and you have to check, and again, you see, you have to check, because the rule changes every year, and you have to check if you have to do it, you don't have to do it. If you don't know, you can ask a Steuerberater or tax accountant to help you. This is really important. After you do the Erklärung, actually, it comes a question here, or a question arises: when should you register for the Finanzamt? Once you have a business, you have to register directly to Finanzamt. So you have a business, you started a business, you register to Finanzamt, even if you, or the tax office, because even if you are earning only 10 euros per euros or whatever, you don't earn still a lot. You say, why should I? No, once you start a business, you should register, and don't worry, if you don't earn a lot, they will not take anything from you, but you have to register once you start the business. This is really important, regardless what you earn. Especially when you start to earn money, because once you earn money, then you have to register for the tax. And in that case, if you don't earn a lot, you will not pay taxes, of course. But you have to do the Erklärung, and you have to register everything, and then they decide. They have to follow you up. This is very important, so you don't be considered as tax fraud. And I told you the steps. It's not that difficult, and you can do it. At the end, if you change your place from one city to another, if you would like to relocate, you have to inform, of course, the Rathaus that you changed. And it depends if you only have to inform this Rathaus, the city where you're living in, and then you have to inform the new one, or you just do it for here, and then they will actually communicate with the other city, so you have to inform them, of course. And probably also the Finanzamt, I'm not sure still if you can have to inform also the Finanzamt, or they will know directly from the Rathaus. You have to ask about all this, because when you change your place and your address, then you change the address of the Gewerbe, of course. If it's the same address, if you change the address of the Gewerbe, you have to inform the Rathaus, or the place where you register the Gewerbe, and probably also the Finanzamt, either you directly, or they will inform them. You have to ask about that also. This is really important. And by that, you can start a side business here in Germany. It have a lot of steps. Once you know it, it's not that difficult at all. It's easy steps, just to have to do it. You have to check, as I said, everything, for the caps, for the regulations, everything. You check everything and you do it. You need a good German. If you don't have a good German to read the documents, you have to get help in that. And also you can get help of a tax accountant or Steuerberater to help you filling the documents and everything, and the returns and tax returns and everything. And then you are on the safe side. You have your business, you have your tax office documents opened and everything. You have the file opened. You are on the safe side, and then you can start earn money. This was video today. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you get an idea on how to start a side business here in Germany. I hope to see you next time on my channel, Ayash in Germany. Bye bye.